Hi, Ron One here, a Little Weird Shop. I'm going to go over some reorganization I've been doing. Now that my woodworking has cut back quite a bit, and instead of it, I'm doing a lot of gun things and a lot of Jeep work. Got the new Little Weird Jeep, the new used Little Weird Jeep. So the shop is a mess. It's going through a little bit of a transformation, cleanup. I do have some floating end table project coming up. I got to start with that walnut up there. It's for the homestead here, for Ron 2 and Homestead Deb. But what I'm working on now is getting my tools, mechanical tools in the shop. I've always had my mechanics tools spread everywhere. The shed, trailer, you know, just all over the place. Toolbox that used to be on my truck. So I want to get them centralized now. So I had this top Cobalt toolbox here. Had that for a long time, 5-drawer. I needed a base, so I just picked up this Husky 27-inch wide bottom with 1 drawer and a couple doors from Home Depot. And earlier, to fit this in here, I wanted it close to the door. But to fit it in here, something I had been wanting to do for a long time is reduce the size of my cutoff bin, which was twice as big. I'll show you a picture of that insert here. But I ended up cutting it in half. I always had it too damn full. I couldn't even use it, so I thought, why not cut it back? Force me to keep less in there. And plus, I need the room for the toolbox here now. So, I think that's going to work out good. And the next step on the toolbox evolution here is I got some Kaizen foam coming from Amazon. So I'm going to organize all that, and we'll film some of that. Before I retired, I bought a lot of Craftsman tools, knowing I wouldn't have as much money when I retired. So I've got a lot of tools already. They're just kind of scattered in there. We won't look at those right now. But we'll go through the process and the thinking behind my organizing that. So, Bonehead, you still dealing with that headache? Yeah? Haven't figured that out yet, huh? Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe if you had eyes and hands you could figure it out, but I don't know. Stick with it. You might figure out why you got so much pressure in your head lately. Well, my Kaizen foam was due today from Amazon via UPS, I think it was. I can't remember if it was UPS or post office. But anyway, the day it was due to get here, I got notice it's getting shipped back because it was damaged. So what I went ahead and started to do here in this drawer that's in the base, I went ahead and used, it came with this black rubber here on top, a little bit thicker rubber that came with this Husky base for the top. I put it in the drawer, cut it down to fit the drawer, and then I used one of the blue pieces that came with this Cobalt set that's going to get replaced by the Kaizen. I don't know if you can see, yeah, there. Took one out of here that'll get replaced with the Kaizen and used that as the base. And then went ahead and cut out for the things that are going in this bottom drawer. So it worked out pretty good. So at least I'm not sitting totally idle while waiting for the Kaizen to get replaced. So let's go like that. This has a hole for this here. Just kind of sits in there. And then this one sits in here. So I've got 1/2-inch torque wrench ratchet, 1/2-inch old timer manual Craftsman 1/2-inch torque wrench. Got a 1/4-inch Tektron bit set, socket set. Here I've got a Riptite. This is, I've never used this yet. This is a bolt remover for stripped heads. Several different sizes there. Then the socket, put it on a ratchet, and supposedly it'll grab a stripped out bolt. Then I've got my gear puller here, and I didn't embed, but I've got a wire brush back here in the back and a long magnet there. So that takes care of that drawer, and nothing's going to move around when you open the drawer. Everything's right there, it's got its place. So I think that's about as far as I can go till that Kaizen comes in. Dang it. Okay, here is the first drawer I did, just to test it out before I film my next one. Uh, you know, I would have loved to cut the design out for each one of these things, but that is just too hard. This stuff is just too thick to cut with the utility knife in some unique patterns. So anyway, you can see the yellow underneath there. These are all my Torx screwdrivers. I've got Torx sockets here, Allen sockets SAE, Allen sockets metric, and then the tamper-proof sockets here. I just put them in their little case. You take it out, see which size you need. And these, just pull them out. I just cut one big slot for these. I'm good with that. And over here, because I actually miscut this piece, but it worked out well. I cut it too short. I've got my vehicle electric stuff here, my cutters and crimpers. Then I've got 3 containers of different connectors along here, and under that I just used some of the original blue stuff from the Cobalt box. So I like that. Works out good. Nothing moves when you jerk the drawer open. Everything stays in place, so I'm good with it. So one down. Next I'm going to do this drawer. I'm going to attempt to cut the shape of each of these out. They're bigger. I think I can do that with no problem. And this foam is all one piece. I actually cut one right. So we'll kind of film this and as I go along. Okay, first step on the pliers drawer, I cut the yellow base pad to size. And I took all the plier type tools out and laid them on the back of the black foam here and flipped them around so when it's on the proper side it's the way I want them to face. And I took a fine point Sharpie and went all around the edges of each tool. Not sure if that's going to show up on camera, but outlined each tool there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 tools. I'm not going to shape it, you know, exactly on the insides of the handles and all. I'm just going to cut out the general outside shape of the tool. So now let's get a razor knife and get started here. Okay, here's the first one I've cut out on this one. It's not the easiest thing in the world, cutting it from the back with this utility knife, but I don't know, I might have to clean this up a little bit, a little wider around here, but now I'll let you watch the next one, but it's an ugly process. Okay, this next one is for this pair of Craftsman vice grips here, auto locks. So it's mostly straight cuts. This may not be too bad. Okay, here is the plier drawer all finished up. I'm happy with it. So there's that. Extra room there for something down the road. And I also finished, that you haven't seen, what else did I finish? That one's still to go. That's still to go. That one I think you've seen. That one's still to go. I guess just the top is the only one that you haven't seen. And what I did here was I left the blue that came with the box underneath all these socket holders. I was good with those. I don't mind those. Got all my socket stuff here. Then back here I put the yellow and black Kaizen foam. Got my 3 extensions here. That's a 3/8. That's a 1/2 inch. That's a 3/8 drive. Got the speed wrench here. 1/4 inch, currently has a 3/8 adapter on it. Got the Craftsman flashlight in here, whoops, and 1/2 inch ratchet, and the 3/8 ratchet, and the dead blow hammer in the back here. So that space is pretty well filled up. And then remember, somewhere down here, oh yeah, in my the drawer in the base down here, I did put the that red box is a whole set of 1/4 inch socket set. So that means of the 6 drawers, including the base, I've got 3, 1, 2, 3, and the top done. So leaves me 1, which is metric nut drivers and wrenches. I think I gotta pick up a few missing wrenches yet, and that's done. And here's my screwdriver drawer. Screwdrivers, feeler gauge, scraper, body lifter things, a micro screwdriver set, some chisels and punches, and an antifreeze tester, and a gasket scraper over here in the corner. That's got to get done yet. And here's my SAE wrenches, Allens, and nut drivers. And everything else is done. Okay, after finishing this top section back here, the Kaizen foam, we moving over to the screwdriver drawer. Got the yellow in here, used up some pieces, so I got the bottom base in, and over here, this is what I had left out of my first order of Kaizen foam, so I'm laying out the screwdriver drawer stuff. And I just got in my last piece, so I'll be able to finish up the other couple drawers. So here is the last piece. Okay, another drawer done. Got my chisels and punches here, interior and body removal tools, some micro screwdrivers, feeler gauge right there, my screwdrivers, and a gasket scraper, and then a wide scraper here, which I just sunk the handle portion in. Worked out good. So time to get on to the, probably this one, the metric drawer. 2 more to go. This one and the SAE wrench drawer. Okay, got the two box all done with its Kaizen foam and organized. So we'll go through it. Here's the top. Probably a little dark in there. All this back here is Kaizen foam with the yellow base. These are the original Craftsman socket holders. Metric, SAE, deep wall, and standard. Top drawer, we've got the metric wrenches, metric nut drivers, a lot of extra space there. Second drawer, we've got Torx screwdrivers, Torx sockets, Allen SAE sockets, metric Allen, tamper-proof Allen, and electrical stuff down the side here. Extra room in here. Micrometer there. Third drawer down, screwdrivers, gasket scraper, big scraper, micro screwdriver set, antifreeze tester here, punches and chisels, and body molding tools, removal tools, some extra space here. And the fourth drawer down, we've got the SAE wrenches, SAE nut drivers, SAE T-Allens. Not too much space left in that drawer. Drawer 5. Got all my kind of plier related here. Got a tubing cutter, rubber cutter, vice grips, channel locks, needle nose, dikes, pliers, hose clamp pliers, metal shears, a little extra room there. Just almost everything in the box is Craftsman. Then the big drawer on the base unit, Got everything in there. Got a 3/8 drive, I think it's 3/8 drive or 1/2 inch drive, a torque wrench, another old time torque wrench, Craftsman, nut or bolt, strip bolt head remover kit, a whole 1/4 inch drive socket kit, and a little 1/4 inch hand ratchet there, wire brush, pulley, puller, flexible magnet. So that drawer is pretty full. Then down here in the base, I use this for my, I've got an extra 3/8 drive tool set there. I can go mobile. And then most of the rest of it is my care products for my Jeep. Got a tote there so I can throw in whatever I need. There's all stuff from wax to cleaners, to top cleaner, to top preservative, vinyl cleaner. Anything I need to keep my Jeep in shape. So that's it. Again, it was a Husky bottom from Depot and an old Cobalt top from Lowe's that I've had for a long time. I've had this top piece and got it fitted back here in the shop, in the old Little Word shop. So thanks for coming along, guys. See you later.